Hi everyone, this is Menz here. I'm playing the Tier 8 Russian heavy tank, the KV-5, which is a premium tank. So you can't normally buy the KV-5, but they do put it in the gift shop and give it away for gifts quite frequently. Now the KV-5, it is very massive, and its armor values are pretty good. Tier 8, there are a few, or quite a few holes in the armor, but overall it is pretty good for premium tank. Now, HP wise, just under 1800, which is very good for a tier 8, and when combined with the armor and the decent mobility it has, it does struggle a little bit up hills, but it can move around pretty quick, which makes the KV-5 very good at ramming tanks. And when you combine the HP, the armor, and the speed together, it does make a pretty interesting tank. Now, the downside of the KV-5 is it does have quite a few holes in its armor. These two turrets in the front are weaker than the armor. This one's a little bit tougher, but as far as a lot of people call this the R2D2 turret, which the radio man sits in, it is pretty weak. Now you do get some bounces if people don't hit it flat, but overall it is weaker than the armor around it. Then the top cupolas and the turret front isn't exactly that strong either. People will punch through, especially these little cheek on the flat parts, fairly easily. Now, some KV-5 drivers will actually reverse angle. Since you do have pretty good side and rear armor, they'll just highly angle their rear and their side, so it helps hide those weak spots. But if you wiggle around a little bit and keep moving, it is kind of hard to actually hit these basically mini turret weak spots on the KV-5 reliably. You just don't want to get too close to people unless if you're going to ram them for a lot of HP, or get too close and not really move around, since people will just be able to go through them pretty easily. Now, one of the other things about the KV-5 is its gun. It has a tier 7 gun, and it's only a 107mm gun, which, as you see here, penetration is not that great. 167mm for the AP shell, which at tier 8 pretty much sucks, and the APCR bumps up to 219, which is okay, which it should be, like the AP shell should be 219 if it was a normal tier 8 tank, at least the newer ones released. But that's something that really hurts the KV-5. Now 300 average damage, that's okay, not great, not bad, but the low penetration does hurt the KV-5. Although since it's a tier 8 premium, you can fire a bit of APCR, which is why I carry almost the same amount APCR without actually losing credits, but it will hurt your net income. Now, the rate of fire at 7 is okay. It does have a high DPM potential value, but the accuracy, as you see here, 0.43, combined with that penetration, does really bring that high DPM down. Now, one other thing, the 350 meter view range is a little bit low, so you will be spotted since you are very large, low camo value, and low view range. Now, equipment wise, as you see, gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, and super heavy spall liner. Spall liner makes you a little more sluggish, but I like it because since you are a large target, artillery will hit you pretty easily, and it makes you a little bit heavier, so when you're going down hills, it does help by ramming people. And vertical stabilizer helps with that bad accuracy since you're going to be moving a lot, and the rammer increases that DPM a little bit more. Okay, so I'm actually gonna hop in. Hopefully I can change this fire extinguisher since the game just got the lag there. Let's hop into a battle here. Now the KV-5, since its downsides are its penetration and accuracy and a little bit with the weak spots. It does help a little bit since you aren't really let down on specific maps. If you get a map that your tank might not be good at in other tanks, KV-5 is kind of good at everything that you get thrown at, since you do have preferential matchmaking. You only see tier 8, tier 9, and overall it can fit into a lot of different areas in the map. It can go through the open, it can play close up, and it really helps out since most premium tanks do have glaring downfalls that hurt their chances on other maps, but the KV-5 is kind of good at a lot of different things, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, a lot of people go to the 8-0 line, and although I would like to kind of nestle into that 7 line and push down that, I'm going to go over to this side only because it does not seem like our team's going to push down the 0 line. They're all going to that little corner in the northeast, and they're all going to sit there and probably die. Now, just starting off, I'm not going to push too far ahead. I want to see what tanks are actually going to be over here. So I'm just going to stick to somewhere where I can't be flanked and I can kind of control the fight, since there's not too much help over here. I wonder if he's going to back up. Does not look like he's gonna back up. Doesn't seem like the enemy really pushed over here though, so I'm gonna let that Type 62 go over there. I'm gonna come in from behind him, since it seems like that other heavy tank's gonna be able to help out with him. Probably didn't need to swap the APCR, but it was just a little bit of a habit. Okay, I definitely want to get out of his... I'm not even going to try shooting at him right now, only because I'm focusing more on getting out of his... where he can shoot me, because he has a really high DPM. Oh god, Artie's over there. Looks like the T-20, he's still there. Thought he backed off a little bit. Fortunately for us, our main group over on the other side died. And I'm kind of stuck here with that T-28 aiming at me, but I'm gonna have to move. Can't push into him because he has a fuckload of damage. I'm just gonna have to take that one shot and kind of move away from him. It's one problem with the KV-5 is facing enemies that might not have a ton of armor compared to other normal tier 8 heavies. The T-28 has just enough armor that I actually can't go through him where he is right now, and he's able to just sit here or sit there and plink away at me, and I can't really do too much about that. Hopefully our low is able to kill that KV-4, but holding my breath for that. Oh shit. And I'm probably gonna die now. I got a little bit lucky there. Or a lot of it lucky. Until I died there. But KV-5 armor, since it is good all around, you do get some lucky bounces like that. A lot of tanks, when you open up your rear, you almost always take damage. But see, at T-29, even though he didn't have a great shot on me, I think he hit me at a bad angle. But if you're in a tank such as T-34 or T-32, something like that, a Tier 8, like an American Heavy, you don't really have any rear and side armor, so you would have probably died there. Still don't get why people sit up in that B9 spot. It does not really help because you can be spotted from the top of the hill, people can shoot you from the 9-0 line pretty good, already can hit you, and you don't really influence much of the map. Either you go all out, push down the 9-0 line, and then you flank somewhere else, because you don't want to push below the top of the F line too much, because the enemy has a decent line of sight from their base. But sitting in that spot definitely did not help our team. Granted, that T-28 driver, if he wasn't in that spot, I would have been able to do a lot more. He really plugged a gap right there, and I was kind of stuck. Now, I could have went to the other side of that Type 62 in the beginning, instead of trying to get behind him. If I would have went to the right, I probably could have had a little bit better route to get around that T-28, but hindsight's 20/20. Okay, M44. Hopefully you die here. Overall, not the best match, but in the end, can't win them all. As you see though, even with a defeat, still made a decent amount of credits. Did the second most amount of damage on my team, just over 2,200, and soaked up quite a bit of damage as well. And so even though I didn't really make a ton, only because I did fire a decent amount of APCR, 43,000 credits for a loss isn't that bad at Tier 8. Alright, so I'm gonna hop in another battle here, see what map I can get. Hopefully it's something a little bit different. Okay, those 3 TDs kind of worry me a little bit, but Haloof's not too bad for the KV-5 since it has really good hills to fly down to ram into people, and it kind of plays a little bit closer fighting wise up in that A2, A3 area. Hopefully we get a spotter into that little C3 or D4 spot. But I definitely can't go into there to spot with this thing.
Boy.
So I'm gonna take a look, see how many people are going, or how many, yeah. Let's see. There's, I'm just gonna head north, there's not too many people going up there. KV-5 is fast enough going down a hill that if you are kind of careful, you can get down into that area in the south and go through the town down there. Unlike other heavy tanks that might have a lower top speed the KV-5 is going downhill is pretty good. And it looks like they got someone into that spotting little ridge, which is a little bit of a downside for us. But one good thing though, pushing over A2, A3 is a little bit tougher to KV-5, since people can hit your weak spots when you're going over. But at the same time, if they push into you, you only really have to worry about those top two little ones on your turret or around the mantlet, and you can usually hit people pretty well before they're able to get a clean shot on you. And since you have really good DPM, you can really mess them up pretty quickly. Hopefully I'm able to get in. Didn't expect him to come that far around. I'm just gonna keep him. Shit. How the fuck did I bounce it? I was about to say, I was just gonna keep him tracked and shoot his track wheel. I'm just gonna take the shot here and move up. It sucks, but I was kind of hoping they would still push up and get a clean shot in. This IS-6 is gonna come up and try to kill me. Run away! Sometimes backing up is better than staying put. Now, pushing through that gap might have been a negative looking back, but I thought I could have got through there without taking as much damage as I actually did. I'm not too worried about the FCM. He is lower alpha gun. I'm more worried about the IS-6 there. But one of us is going to take the shot. minus 6, but I guess you didn't want to. Okay, Tiger, I want to push through there. Nice if he was a little closer, I could go ram him. But I'll take the damage this way. Yeah, he probably expects me to push around that way. I'm going to let the RHM go there first. And it doesn't look like he popped around there. I'm just going to go ahead then. We have the advantage. Looks like he's pretty mad. Don't know why he's still here. He's not in a platoon and he's dead. Should just hop out of the match. As you see here though, 13 kilometers an hour is, and much lower when you turn, going uphill. And while the KV-5 is pretty mobile for its size and weight, going up any kind of hills and turning really bleeds a lot of speed. But this tank can definitely take a beating. Most of my damage came from that stupid crossing I did, but we're ahead right now, so still gonna say it helped out. Granted, I did take a lot of damage crossing there. So 3 kills and a victory. I'll chalk that up as a pretty good match. Alright, so I did get a reward for an assignment. Just over 3,000 damage. Pretty good for a tier 8, especially considering your gun's kind of iffy. Hit most of my shots, penetrated a decent amount of them, and received a decent amount of damage. As you see, the overall profit just under 100,000 credits, and it turns out to be an 82,000 net profit once you deduct all the APCR I shot, but you kind of have to take a little bit off because of that reward. But overall, even considering that, it is really expensive to run APCR, which you will use quite a bit of it in the KV-5 in a lot of matches, since you really need that penetration, but you'll still come out with a okay profit. And since it is a tier 8 premium, if you can learn to shoot more AP over time, which I kind of get lazy at times, it is a pretty good money maker. And it's pretty fun. If I could have rammed a tank at full speed down the hill, I probably would have one-shotted it. That's something the KV-5 is known for, and people will try to run away from you if you're going downhill at them. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, wotguru.com.